Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's live meditation. I am going to open up this space first with an acknowledgement of my papiha, which is my lineage of who I am, where I come from. Ko waio, te taha o te whaia, ko tainui te waka, ko pukihikio me te tui o te ao marama ngā maunga, ko mangapu te awa, ko Ngāti Kinohaku te hapu, ko Ngāti Maniapoto te iwi, ko te waipatoto ki Okurura te marae, ko te tui o te ao marama te wharekai, ko wetera tahi, rāua ko Tiria Ekitoni oku mātua tupuna, ko Chris West, rāua ko Teresa Tahi oku mātua, ko Kia West, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. And the reason I have been opening or committing to opening up my space with my pepiha is part of my self-studies. I am learning about my Māori heritage, and a pepiha is a journey. It's how Māori will introduce themselves, especially in a formal setting when they are speaking in front of people, as it is a way of telling the listener where they have come from. So, for example, when I am saying ko tainui te waka, the waka is the canoe that my ancestors arrived into by. The maunga, the ko pukihikio me te tui o te ao marama, is the mountain that we have come from. Ko mangapu te awa is the river that we belong to. Ko Ngāti Kinohaku te hapu is the sub-tribe. Ko Ngāti Maniapoto te iwi is the main tribe. And Oporure is the marae, our meeting house. And again, you may have noticed when I mention again te tui o te ao marama te wharekai, the dining room was named after our maunga. And then the second phase of the pepiha is acknowledging my grandparents, Wetere Tahi and Tiria Ekitoni, and then my parents, Chris West and Teresa Tahi, before acknowledging myself. And I've been practicing and learning and teaching my children, having been born in Australia and being separated from my Māori roots, and I've always been very drawn to it, even though there was a large part of my life where I felt disconnected from it. It's been through my studies of the science of intuition that I have been able to understand where that deep desire and connection to my culture comes from without having been raised within that. And similar with on my father's side, having an English heritage, there is just my very student kind of archetype, if you will, is always so drawn to looking towards my ancestors, as I find so many interconnections with now. And so what I wanted to talk about this morning before we move into a practice of meditation is a little bit more about the science of intuition, being that next Thursday I am running my webinar again on the science of intuition. And there's so much richness within that 90-minute webinar that I thought I would bring some of it here and try to keep that in a contained amount of information being transferred, because it is so rich. But where I thought I wanted to present, what I thought I wanted to present to you from the science of intuition today is the heart brain. And this we dive into a lot more within the module, within the webinar. But I wanted to bring that to you because for those of you who have been joining me every single week to journey within, we are doing that via our heart brain. And so it's not the metaphorical heart, like you might think. It's not the heart chakra where this brain belongs. It's actually the anatomical heart. So we are made up of electromagnetic fields. In fact, every single atom, every single minuscule particle that makes up what we show up in as our physical body has an electromagnetic field. And it is the brain within the heart, or the heart, that has the largest electromagnetic field. It is 500 times bigger than the cranial brain. And has been shown throughout sciences, which again we will explore a lot more deeply within the webinar, but has been shown that our heart brain is precognitive, which means that it is able to receive information before the cranial brain, and this has to do with the electromagnetic field that surrounds the heart. So the heart is made up of 40,000 clusters of neurons, again, much larger than any other cluster of neurons that make up any other organ within our body, which then gives it the largest electromagnetic field just in its day-to-day state. And when we are talking about the science of intuition, we are talking about how our heart then expands into surrounding fields, both locally and non-locally. This will also be explored briefly within the webinar. And when we are tuning in, when we are going into meditation, when we are retreating from the superficial world, as you might have seen in my description, we are expanding that electromagnetic field around our heart. So then we are expanding it so that we are then tuning into the quantum field, which is also explored inside of this webinar, where the quantum field is what interconnects us with all things. So when I am talking about familiarizing myself and self-studying my Māori heritage, I am connecting in with that web, that quantum field, where in no time and space, all existence occurs. So I'm able to tune into what life was like with my ancestors, hundreds of years ago, through this quantum field. And so, hi Karen, how are you, lovely lady? And so when we become aware that it is within our heart that we have the largest electromagnetic field, where it is the gateway into the quantum field, which is also our subconscious, then we can begin the process of starting to live by the heart. So when we understand that our intuition resides within this brain, within our heart, then we can begin to attune ourselves to what it is that our heart is guiding us to or from. And so when an experiment that was conducted by the HeartMath Institute to really, the experiment was to explore how feedback or information is received by the body and where it goes and how it works within the body systems. And so the way the experiment ran was they primed their subject doing a practice that we will do shortly, and so that their electromagnetic field around their heart was in the primed state. It was in this beautiful, expansive state, and we'll talk about the how of that shortly. But when they were in this primed state, when they were in this highly expansive state, they then connected them to a series of measurement devices, measurement tools, EEG, ECG, heart rate monitor, heart variability monitors, and all of these different types of monitors to measure how information was being received and how it was working within the systems of the body. And then what they did was they sat these subjects in front of a computer screen that was programmed to generate random images. And what the results found was that the heart was responding 6 seconds prior to any other organ within the body, any other system within the body. and that it then communicated to the cranial brain, which then distributed the responses across all of the other systems. What they also found was that the heart was responding 6 seconds prior to the computer had even randomly selected an image. So they have this science, these experiments have proven how precognitive our heart is. It can see, it feels, it senses, it's connecting with, it's attuning to what is occurring 6 seconds prior to it actually happening. And so the more that we begin to understand this, the more that we begin to practice this, the more that we can then apply this within our day-to-day life. We can apply this when we are going into the fridge and we want to, we want energy, we want to sustain ourselves. And then we can become, we can allow our heart to guide us to the veggie sticks instead of the cheese sticks or whatever it may be, but we can begin to action our intuition, because that is ultimately what I am here to demonstrate when I'm teaching the science of intuition. It's not just so that you can cram your cranial brain with information that will just hold you in high beta constantly because you don't know what to do with it. It's actually so that you can apply it and become intuitively intelligent. Intuitive intelligence is intuition plus self-esteem, which requires action. We do not, we can receive all of the intuitive hits in the world, but unless we are actually actioning it, we're missing the step. And so, we are all intuitive, and we'll talk about this again within the webinar. Perhaps not in this module, that does belong in other lessons, which this particular lesson, the science of intuition, is part of an 8-series lesson program that I will be launching next March. But we talk about the different types of intuition. We talk about us all being intuitive. It's a physiological, a biological part of every single person living, and we explore that in greater detail. But for today's live meditation, we are very much trying to keep it in one space. I love this content so much. It does take you far, wide, deep, interdimensionals, and all of the rest. But we are staying with the heart today, Kia. So we are going to move into a practice that you will be able to experience, expanding the electromagnetic field around your heart. And we do this by retreating our from the superficial world. And when I say that, what I mean is we are retreating from high beta brainwave state within the superficial world, which is our awake time, our we're going to the gym, we're getting kids ready for school, we're getting cleaning the house. That is us in the superficial world, running from our high beta brainwave state. When we retreat from that, we are intentionally placing our focus and attention to drop out of that high beta brainwave state and drop into a more expansive, the more expansive states of alpha or theta. And as I say, often when we are going through these practices in this setting, it's not necessarily likely that you will achieve theta unless you're very well practiced and you can just switch into it like that, which studies show that is absolutely attainable when you practice and practice and practice. But when we are dropping out of that high busy brainwave state, we are activating our parasympathetic nervous system, our space of rest, where we are able to restore and to regenerate. But ultimately, what is occurring is we are expanding the field around our heart. The only way that we can do that is when we come into a relaxed and open state. And then to expand it even further, when we curate and cultivate feeling states of gratitude, compassion, freedom, joy, bliss, the vibration of our electromagnetic field, again, we go in detail within the webinar, but our vibration is elevated. We speed up the frequency that we are functioning at, especially when we consider that the heart brain is the most powerful electromagnetic field that we have within our body. When we are curating feeling states of these high frequency emotions within our heart, it expands us infinitely. It's incredible. So what I would love for you to do now is to actually experience that, and we are going to practice what is known and was created by the HeartMath Institute, which is known through them as heart coherence, where we are bringing our heart and mind into coherence, but what has been adapted by the Institute for Intuitive Intelligence to be called heart congruence, where faith meets your action. So, which is intuitive intelligence in its absoluteness. So let's move into the practice now. So if you're joining me live or catching the replay, I invite you to close down your eyes and begin to deepen your breath. Perhaps drawing in through the nose for 4 counts and exhaling for 6 counts, and allowing this rhythm to anchor you into your seat, and noticing how the instant you close down your eyes and begin to lengthen and extend your breath, everything begins to slow down. And by placing your consciousness on your breath, notice where you are holding any tension or resistance in your body, in your mind, or in your field. And simply notice, acknowledge, accept, and let it go. Drawing in for 4, breathing out through the mouth for 6. Feel yourself dropping out of high beta brainwave, the superficial world, through your breath and your passionate, focused intention and attention to be here in this everlasting present moment. Bring 2 fingers or the palm of your hand to the center of your chest. This physical touch signifying to the nervous system that it is safe to be here, and we wish to correspond with the intelligence of our heart. Notice how placing your attention now on your heart is sending ripples of electricity through your entire physical body, up and down your spine, around your legs, around your head, all the way through your physical body, just by placing your attention on this brain. Continuing your extended breath with 4 counts in and 6 counts out. And with every breath in and out, notice either with sight, sound, feeling, or just knowing that the field around your heart is expanding with ease and with grace. Noticing how, as your heart expands, the field around your heart expands, you are attuning to more than that is just within your body, noticing what it is that you are sensing or noticing in the field that just surrounds you, filling up your entire room now. Noticing through the field of your heart, you can attune to the energy within the room of which you sit. Noticing where your consciousness is being drawn to in certain areas of the room, even with your eyes closed, feeling and picking up on frequencies that moments before were unknown. And on your next breath, feel, hear, see, or just know that the field around your heart is expanding even greater, so that it fills your entire home or building of which you sit. Again, seeing where your consciousness, where this powerful brain within your heart is showing you. Are you being drawn to corners of the room, images, picture frames, the fridge, the TV? Noticing what your heart is joyfully showing you as you experiment with expanding its field. And on your next breath, expanding again, so that you fill the entire street. What sensations, sounds, visuals, or knowings come to you when you hold the entire street of which you sit in your expanded field? And still your light, your frequency, your field expands now to fill the entire country with ease and with grace, noticing how that with your intention, your focused intention and attention, it is building momentum as the field of your heart expands and expands and expands, soaking in everything within your field. And on your next breath, see the field around your heart expanding to encircle the entire globe. Again, taking a moment here to notice what this magnificent brain within your heart is allowing you to attune to. Noticing if it is sharing something with you and you are seeing images, or perhaps it is speaking words. You may be getting feelings, or perhaps just know without knowing. The whole entire planet right now bathed inside of your heart. And from this expansive state, we move into curating a feeling state of either gratitude, compassion, freedom, joy, allowing your heart to guide you to which feeling state it is presenting, which memories or experiences that support the cultivation of this feeling state, this high frequency vibration. Allow yourself to give yourself over to these high frequency feeling states. You may see these experiences or memories that evoke this feeling strongly within you as a movie reel. Images flashing before you with each one, allowing that gratitude or compassion to grow and grow and grow. keeping yourself focused and passionately to these feelings, to this vibration. You may be feeling as if you are quite literally floating above the earth. In your wholeness, in the truth of your pure, unlimited consciousness. Taking a deep breath in, let it all go out through the mouth with an audible sigh now. Gently lowering your hand to your lap and bring some gentle movement back to your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, blink open your eyes. And if you were joining me live or on the replay, I would love for you to share your experience in the comments. If you were able to, if you could see, hear, feel, or know that expansion, how was your intuition guiding you through that practice? I would love for you to share that. But this practice called heart congruence is something that I recommend as a daily practice as a minimum. Just 3 minutes of heart congruence is enough to sustain all of your systems for 6 entire hours. It is seriously an insanely effective and powerful tool, and it's very easy for our cranial brain to doubt it, because how can a 3-minute curating vibration do anything? It's powerful, and I encourage you to do it for a week. Every single morning when you awaken, move into a space of gratitude, holding your hand on your heart, bringing consciousness to your breath, and then giving yourself over to feeling states of gratitude. When you are stressed, when you are frustrated, when you are overwhelmed, like, these are all feeling states that will see that our electromagnetic field contract and close off to our intuition. So when you train yourself so that when you are feeling these feeling states, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling stressed, to say, oh, okay, I need to change my feeling state right now and move into a space of compassion, freedom, joy, gratitude. Oh, me too. It was beautiful, Karen. I thank you so much for joining me. I have an appointment now, so I'm going to dash, but please join me again tomorrow at the same time. This is going to be the new regular time. I've been doing some big changes behind the scenes. I am looking at a new series, and I'm also curating a new offer for everyone. So thank you so much for joining me, Karen. It is, as always, a great privilege to have you merging with me in our expansion, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, it does too. I love that. I didn't plan that. See you, beautiful woman. Bye.